Welcome, everybody, to Too Legit to Crit, a tabletop role-playing podcast hosted by two guys who gave The Tomb of Horrors 2 stars on Yelp.
We're just going to breeze past the fact that you fucked up that intro.
I don't know what you are talking about. I mean, I'm going to need to see evidence.
It's recorded, dude.
Oh, who's going to edit it? Yes, I fucked up that intro. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't done it in over 2 weeks.
I mean, in fairness, as you can probably hear, there you go. Couch just clipped it for us. Thank you, Couch. As you can probably hear, my voice has been fucked. I used my voice too much. This is the doctor's exact words, by the way. I'd been using my voice too much, which strained my throat, which then opened it up to an infection. So, in a roundabout way, this podcast made me sick.
Well, I mean, you're talking for an hour once a week. I don't think that, And plus, we are not big enough yet to offer you any sort of like insurance or anything like that.
Medical care.
Technically, it's still a hobby. But I mean, you're taking like for 1 hour a week.
Hour and a half, actually. Thank you
So
very much.
I want to know, because an hour and a half talking per week isn't going to fuck your voice up. I want to know what else you were doing.
Well, my job is 95% speaking.
You stood on a soapbox screaming at cars going by.
Pretty much. So I spend like 95% of my workday speaking. Then I spend my evenings speaking. And if I'm not doing this, I'm streaming myself, like playing RuneScape and whatnot. So it's more speaking. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm just talking in general with the people that I'm gaming with. So I'm basically spend 95% of my conscious time speaking. And who knows? I probably talk in my sleep. I don't know. I'm asleep, so I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't slept with you, so
Yeah, I know.
But anyway,
like a trying.
Nah, I mean, I'm still banging at that door.
So
my name is.
I managed to fuck up my throat.
So my name is John Santana.
I am still Justin, somewhat depreciated, but still Justin.
Okay, somewhat depreciated, still Justin. We couldn't do it last week,
No.
because you had.
I wasn't allowed to speak. Yes,
you weren't allowed to speak.
Yes.
So how about we talk about the fact that we've been doing this for a year?
Yeah. Whole year.
Like a whole fucking year, man.
One whole calendar year.
That's it. I mean, we started like beginning of. I think
this
it was
time
beginning.
Last year. That's how a year works.
Yeah, beginning of April. I just can't remember if it was end of March or beginning of April, but I'm pretty sure it was beginning of April. So man, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, because last week would have been the 52nd week, which would have been technically the week before the year anniversary, because that was the last week. So so this is technically actually our anniversary.
Yeah, it is. So happy anniversary.
Right back at you.
Yeah, I haven't got you anything. I haven't got you anything.
This was fun. We had a good run.
No, that's it. But I thought we could actually take a bit of a trip down memory lane.
Oh God.
Yeah, I also have like a few sort of well wishes from people that I'm going to be reading out as well. Some of them were like, I read them, it's like, oh, I'm going to choke up. That my cold black heart.
As long as we don't bring up a certain bear, I'll be fine.
The bear's going to make an appearance at some point.
I don't have the capacity in my voice to rant about that bloody bear today.
We'll take another week off. It's fine.
Can't afford another week off of work.
So, I mean, also, just like a bit of like news. You missed a really good Delta Green session on Wednesday. It was a ton of fun. very cinematic. It ended up being one agent in one place, one agent in another, while
Oh,
things
God.
were happening simultaneously. It was
They
really
split
fucking
the
good.
party.
They split the party, but like I've always said, it doesn't matter in
Doesn't
Delta
really
Green.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter in
No,
any situation, really, if you're honest.
there's
We've discussed that
no such
before.
thing as
Yeah,
safety in numbers in that
we've
system.
well, that's the thing, right? There's no such thing as safety numbers in any system if you don't want there to be, right? There's only safety if the DM so wishes.
Where when it's me, fuck him. So in other news, I managed to put my foot in it on Threads massively.
I saw something. Is it the thing that I think it is that you put your foot in it with?
Oh, probably not, because I don't regret that at fucking all.
Which one did you put your foot in it with?
Okay, so our good friend Stefan.
Yes.
All right, he made a post. I can't remember the exact logistics of the post, and it was something along the lines of, in this whole tabletop role playing community, we are not competing. We are, we're working together. We're trying to help kind of build people up, and which could not agree with you more. I mean, 100%. However, he ended that particular thread on something like along the lines of, I don't compete unless it's on a treadmill. So, me always having to try and be the funniest person in the room.
Yeah.
I responded to, I'd fucking take you on a treadmill. Which we're all very aware that is not the case. We're all very aware that, in terms of peak physical fitness, Stefan's got that one hands fucking down. So it became a bit of a laugh. And our other friend Atlas, who we've mentioned on the show, and we've seen her artwork, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
She decided to chime in and say, "Oh, that would be really great. Let's get on." So, long story short, I am now part of what is called Fellowship of Fitness, where we are going to walk from Rivendell to Mordor.
We?
Not we. No, I haven't included you. I was going
to say, there's no fucking we in this shit.
No, and I say we, it's myself, Stefan, Atlas, the guys from Crossing the Nerdverse, Canel, Tess, and 27 other people. Wow. And it starts tomorrow.
I have one thing to say to that, and one thing only.
That it's a me problem?
That hurt, but it was worth it.
But yeah, so that's going to be happening. We're starting tomorrow. Stefan has created a really, really cool sort of concept around it. So obviously, every mile you do tallies up to the total. Yeah. Every 10 minutes of other activities you do, like resistance training, whatever, that adds another mile. Okay. And once a week, he's going to create an encounter. Okay. Now, the encounter, the bonus that we have from the encounter is going to be based off the amount of miles we've already done that particular week. So he's going to roll and see if we beat the encounter or we don't. If we beat the encounter, we get another 5 miles. If we don't beat the encounter, we have to go a further 5 miles at the end of it. So he's gamified it.
You're fucked.
Oh, I've already started walking to and from work, which is a mile each way. So do that twice a day. That's 10 miles a week.
There, yeah.
Boom.
Still rather you than me.
I walked from the kids' place yesterday, and that's another nearly 3 miles, 2.7 miles.
Well, every day I walk to the shop and back.
Should we add that to the tally?
But we're going to leave out the fact that the shop is there.
And should we leave out the amount of shit you buy at the shop?
I don't actually buy that much at the shop. I will buy a bottle of this every couple of days. and I'll buy 2 of these a day. That's it. That's all I buy at the shop, and maybe the odd chocolate bar.
Hey, with that many energy drinks, you'll be walking to Mordor in no time.
No, because I have insomnia and I need that shit to stay awake through the day.
So yeah, that is how I put my foot in it on Threads. The other thing,
Well,
meh.
You're putting your best foot forward.
Boom. But yeah, so that was it. You missed a really cool fabulous session, which I won't go into too much detail here, but we will catch you up on. It was basically a side quest for Edgar and Crow, and it was phenomenal. We had so much fun, a lot of role play, a lot of character development, especially Edgar needed to develop, so there were some things.
Does he not care about the logs anymore?
Oh no, he's not losing that, man. He's always going to care about the logs.
It's my favorite part of Edgar.
Yeah, I'm not losing that. That's
it's ingrained.
It's key to his
it's like honor.
Yeah, exactly, and daddy issues. My son and I are currently watching the new live action Avatar. Pretty good. Pretty fucking good.
I have to admit, I was cautious going into it because I finished it, so I'm not gonna say an awful lot because obviously I don't want to. I mean, you know what's happening, but like there were some things that were changed that I saw people like bitching about, but like the changes make sense for the format of the show.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how far through it you are, but they've combined like some of the Earth Kingdom stories into one episode.
Yeah.
So things like the kid in, I can't remember the kid's name, but the kid in the wheelchair that like flies in a glider that his dad built, right? So instead of that being in like the Northern Air Temple, it's now in Omashu, and they've combined like the jet story instead of being some random village that's also in Omashu, and they've kind of like interwoven those stories. And like people were complaining about that. I was like, no, but I like that because you still get all of those storylines that are important later on, right? Because all of those characters, but they don't have to waste like 3 episodes to put this random village in. Like it combines it all nicely in one place. You don't have to, like, because like it's always going to be more condensed, right? Because they've only got like 8 episodes a season instead of like 57 that animes do. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. There were some things that they changed that I didn't like. But you know, that was bound to happen, right? Because there's always going to be things that you don't like about something. But then there were some changes that they made that I really liked. You know, and I think casting for the most part, they've done a fucking amazing job.
Oh yeah.
The only casting choice that I wasn't too keen on, and it's purely from the aesthetics of the person they chose, is the actress that's playing Azula. She's got the character down, but she just doesn't look like Azula to me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Azula's like very sort of
very sharp, whereas whereas like the girl that's playing her she's more rounded features and there's softer features. I think that's the only issue, is like because that edginess to Azula's appearance was part of her character, and I feel like it's kind of lost that element because when she's not talking and being Azula, and you don't have that like crazy coming through in her eyes or whatever when she's talking, she doesn't give off the Azula vibe.
No, I get that.
Moments, and that was my only kind of with the casting. Other than that, I love a lot of what they've done.
I mean, I'm on episode 3. The jet thing threw me. I didn't expect it because I was watching it with my son, and he went, "That's Jet," and I went, "No, it's not. Can't be, because it's not there." So and then it turned out it was Jet. It's like, am I remembering that wrong? You know, am I remembering?
No, it was
nah,
it was one of the changes they made.
Absolutely fine, and it went really well. Another thing I saw, and we're not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I got like a free week of Paramount Plus, and I watched Twisted Metal. Right, Twisted Metal was a PlayStation game that I fucking loved.
Right. Okay.
Long story short, the entire plot of the game is you are driving around courses with machine guns and rockets on your car.
Oh, so Death Race.
Similar, yeah, sort of like a
Yeah.
death race sort of
Yeah.
thing. And they've actually done a show out of it.
Nice.
They've created a story, which Twisted Metal doesn't have one. They created it, and it's what a fucking fun time that's been. So yeah, if you get a chance, do watch it because it is quite cool. But let's talk about tabletop role-playing games, and let's talk about
Us.
our journey into
Yeah.
this. Can you
In
remember
this.
Can you remember how this started?
Yes. You and me were chatting bollocks, and then it was your idea of like doing a podcast, because I think we'd been like chatting for like an hour, and then like I think I said something like I can't remember the exact wording, but I made a joke about like, because you said about we should do a podcast, and I was like, yeah, if we just recorded that, it would have been an episode.
Yeah,
And
because I remember one of the things we were talking about was Obsidian.
yes, it
We
was.
went
Yeah, it was
in.
literally it was in depth in Obsidian because I just started using it.
Yeah, because you were talking about your campaign.
Yeah, and how I had started using
And
Obsidian, and
yeah, and
and I still do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's really really good.
I'm no longer kind of following the Obsidian tabletop role playing game community because they're just coming up with random shit now. It's like
Yeah.
it does what I need it to do. I don't need more. I don't need bells and whistles. It does exactly what I
Yeah.
need it to do. You know, that's all I need.
Yeah, no, it has got to the point because obviously I went back to it recently to reset up all my stuff because I hadn't used my laptop in a while.
Yeah.
That I had it installed on. So yeah, I went back to using it recently. So I had to go through and like reset up some of the plugins and things like that because they weren't up to date anymore, and I basically had to almost do a fresh install, but not a full fresh install, so it wasn't too bad. And yeah, like I say, that they've added so many new features now that like some of them, even I, and you know how much I love a bell and a whistle, even I was like, I don't think I'll ever need that. I've installed it, it's there, but I don't think I'll ever use it.
Yeah, I've just given up. I mean, I'm still part of the group every time. Oh, new feature in Obsidian. Now you can use like shellnet commands to fucking pull. And it's like, why? Why would I ever use that? You know, I'd only ever use that if I was literally copying something. It's like, I'm not. You know. So that's how we started. We basically had the idea, and the following week it was like, right, let's record it. And let's bring Scott in.
Yeah. Yeah, we brought in Scott because he was our first ever DM.
Yeah.
Way back when, after that fateful night of us running around a nightclub going, hey, do you want to play a D&D type game?
And I'm drunk, right? Yeah, sounds great. But yeah, so Scott came on. We recorded half the episode.
Yes, and then it broke.
And then we had to record it a couple of days later. And that's where I learned, so editing is involved.
We're going to have to edit stuff.
We're going to have to. Have you listened to it?
The first ever episode?
Yeah.
Not for a long time, but I do remember that our sound quality back then was fucking atrocious.
It was fucking shocking because I did the things for the Christmas ones, like the recaps, and I was listening to that episode going, "Oh, kill me now."
Yeah, because like that's the thing as well. Like setup wise, my setup, microphone, and all that sort of thing has not changed. No. All that's changed is that I've changed all my settings. I've learned more about the settings on my microphone since, and I've got something on my eye right now, and it's pissing me off.
Well, I mean, for me, it was. I mean, I realized I had to update the microphone, but also I had to learn how to edit, like equalize.
Yes,
which I'm still learning. I'm still not getting it right, but I think I'm doing much better because the quality of the audio feeds are
now.
so much better. I mean, but I do listen to other podcasts and go, well, fuck, I want that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though, right? The next step for us really to get any better sound quality now, we would need to not record over Discord, which is what we currently do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would need to get proper microphones, not like mine's like it's the entry level streaming microphone, the Blue Yeti. That like every streamer's like, I bought a Blue Yeti, I'm gonna stream now. And it is a really good microphone if it's set up right. If it's
Yeah.
not set up right, as episode 1 proved, it's horrendous. And like I recently found out as well, like I've tweaked my settings again in the last couple of weeks. Because I realized I had 2 sets of equalizers running, because there's software for the microphone that had
Yeah.
equalizers and stuff on it, but then the software that I use to split up my audio so that we have like separate stream mixers and music mixers and stuff like that for my other stream, that also has equalizers and stuff
Yeah.
on them. So it was doubling up, which was creating like a weird distortion to my voice.
Yeah.
So what I've done now is I've turned off one of them completely, so it doesn't do anything for my microphone. And then I've done it all in one of them, so that the sound is not being processed 18 times. It's just the once.
No, I mean, but that's it. I think we have learned a lot. I mean, I know
Yeah.
I certainly have, because obviously now I'm doing the video editing, I'm doing audio editing, and this has been like a constant learning process for us.
Yeah.
It's been from start to finish. We've just been every week just kind of going, oh shit, we can do this and we can do this
It's a new
better.
thing.
Yeah, and like I've just finished uploading the crit list, the first episode. It's uploaded, and I've done the editing there as well. And the things I've done there, especially using different software, I'm no longer using GarageBand. I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which, holy shit,
Yeah, it's really good software.
It's a free professional grade software. So learning how to use that and learning how to edit with that, and we're just picking things up as we go. But yeah, it's been a wild ride so far. So what moment for you was, holy shit, this could actually be something?
I think it was that one episode we had. I think it was the professional character killers episode that for some reason just exploded overnight when we uploaded it. I think that was the one for me. I was like, oh, because I think like we uploaded it and the next day we checked the insights on it, and it had like 200 and something downloads overnight, and I was like what?
Yeah, it was just a spike. It was.
Yeah.
I know we've had a couple of them, but that was the first one.
That was the first one. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, for me, the first episode, we didn't have a lot. We had about 15 listens, but even those 15 listens was holy fuck.
Yeah.
Someone has listened to us 15 times. Like, I don't download the episodes. I know you don't download the episodes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So those were like 15 actual listens. And it was like, wow, okay, so people actually are interested in this. So,
also, Couch, screw you.
Yeah, so Couch just put in the chat, his audio quality right now is pretty shocking, so gravelly. Personally, I think it's sexy.
Yeah. Well, I think you are both wrong. I think it's horrendous and I hate it, and I wish I could just sound like my normal self.
I think there's definitely like a bit of a blues sort of thing. Yeah,
It's that episode of Friends where Phoebe gets sick and
there you go.
Smelly cat.
Oh, it was like Barry White. Is that Barry White over there?
But yeah, I think that for me was like the moment where I was like, oh, okay, it's a thing, right? Because I think like having the 15 listens or whatever that we were getting in the first few episodes, I think because I've been like streaming video games and stuff like that in the past, where I've had like 15 viewers and 20 viewers and stuff like that on streams, to me that was like not normal, but you know what I mean. Like it was, I was like, okay, that's about par for the course.
Yeah.
And then we got that big like boom, lots of people overnight, like 200 downloads. I was like, oh, okay, that's a big thing. And I think that was the real moment for me, where I was like, okay.
I mean, for me, the like one of the big game changers for me, where we definitely saw saw an increase in interest was Threads.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because trying different social media things. I was on Mastodon. Still, I'm on Mastodon.
Yeah.
I tried Twitter when it was Twitter back then, Blue Sky and all that. But Threads, it was like, holy shit, there's a community here.
Yeah. No, I think definitely Threads was big for us. It still is. I mean, I say was.
Yeah.
It still is. Like, we seem to have found ourselves in a really, really good like community, like you say, on Threads. We seem to have landed slap bang in the middle of this wonderful, wonderful group of people. And honestly, it's just been incredible. Like, and then like having some of them come on the show as well and stuff like that, and getting to like meet these people and interact with other people that just love this hobby. It's just been, it's been so good, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because we started out, our first guest was Marlin.
Yes.
Who's the creator of Bind, who ran us through an intro scenario on Bind, which is going to be released on Thursday.
Yes.
And it was just so much fun. And then from there we went to, I think it was Johnny. We brought in Johnny from Talking XP.
Yeah.
Who basically we kind of just saw just how professional he was and went, holy fuck.
I think that was like the second time that, well, I mean, basically every time we've had a guest on the show afterwards, we've been sat here going like, hey, that's another person that does it better than us.
Yeah, every single person. Stefan came on, and that's been a life-changing thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The fact that we're in a book.
Yeah, we're in a book.
Which is amazing, and we can't thank Stefan and his family.
Yeah.
From 13 Moon Games enough for all that. Then we had Conlin, we've had Juicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Conlin you geeked out with, Juicy I geeked out with.
You did. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget though, Juicy was the second person we've had on from that particular production.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we had Emma on beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emma.
It's just been magical, man, getting to meet all these people. And Couch putting his character's name in the chat playthrough.
Couch was that. Yes, Couch, we're not forgetting you. Yeah, you were there too.
Couch was one of our first guests as well.
Yeah,
he came Couch sat in my living room.
Yeah, Couch. Yeah, Couch was. Yeah, because you guys shared a microphone.
Yeah, he sat the other side of my microphone.
And Couch, you do it better. I don't know what, but you do it better. I mean, I've heard the rumors, Couch.
Yeah, no, it's just been such a weird journey as well, man. Like to think that all of this started because I think it was like it was after a session or something as well. That we had that chat. Like I think we'd done something and then we hopped in a Discord call afterwards to discuss like Obsidian and helping me get some stuff set up for my campaign. And it was just like off the back of that, like to go to where we are now. It's crazy.
I mean, speaking of Threads, I mean, I've just got some well wishes because I did put it out into Threads that we are celebrating a year. We got a congratulations, that's amazing. That was from Grim Maven Maps. Therapy and Dragons are just giving us a good solid way to go. I mean, follow these people. If if you are on Threads and you get a chance to follow these people, just do so because they're fucking amazing. And Couch has just put something in the chat that because of him coming on that show, we are now playing a weekly Fabula game.
Yes. Well, bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah, bi-weekly.
But yeah, so, because of that, we went from, there's this system here to
now we play it every other week.
Now we play it every other week and we're thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. And yeah, I think it's as well, like it's really helped me look at other systems and play other systems as well, which was something that I wanted to do. But like, it's always one of those that's really hard to find something to play, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's loads of systems out there, but without like somebody to show you the door, it can be really daunting at the same time because there's so many out there, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I completely get that.
You know, because like you come into the hobby and most people will, you know, come in through D&D. I know that hurts you to say, but most people do come into the hobby through that doorway, right? And then the minute you look down the corridor and you see just how many other doors there are to go through,
Yeah.
that's what I think. Honestly, I feel that's why a lot of people they open that door, look down that hallway at all of these other possible doors, just close the door and just stay in D&D because it's too daunting to them.
I mean, having that experience myself, like having like been in that position, because it wasn't D&D for me, it was Pathfinder.
It was Pathfinder, yeah.
And it was a case of I don't understand. I don't. This system isn't rolling a D20. How is it going to work? You know, this system isn't doing what I'm used to it doing. It's not. You know, it doesn't work like that. How 2d6? What the fuck? You know, and it is sort of like a fear of the unknown.
Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah.
And to be honest, as much as I love Pathfinder and Pathfinder Second Edition, stepping away from them and learning other systems, best fucking thing I ever did.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
Not only because I learned other systems, but it also informed how I would play Pathfinder. It helped my role play. It helped, you know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, for me, like it's even helped me to create a game, right? Because I've created my little fish game, which my daughter loves. Like she absolutely loves this fish game. Like the number of times that she'll like come up to me, like I've literally got 3d6 on my desk because she comes up to me and goes, "Dad, let's play the fish game," and brings me dice to play it.
Nice.
Like she loves it. I've also played it with a few other people as well. One of whom works in a school, and actually wants a copy of it to play with the kids in the school, which I never saw coming. And all of that has come from this. I would have never built this fish game if it wasn't for this. Because it was, you know, those conversations that we've had with these other people who have created games, who have basically just kind of given that advice of, just do it. Just create it.
I mean, because, to be honest, because of the show, I've got something featured in an upcoming book. Not like it's the Tales of the Valiant, the Labyrinth.
No, exactly.
And that was because you kind of went, why don't you just
do it,
submit it and see what happens?
What's the worst that can happen?
So I mean, this show has been life changing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, without a shadow of a doubt. And I've got a couple more sort of well wishes. One of them is from our good friend Stefan. And it says, "Oh my 1 year, congrats. You've had such a positive impact on me and what we do here at 13th Moon Games. I love your sense of humor. The two of you play off one another well and are entertaining and inclusive. Here's to another year. Waffle on."
Oh, that's good. I like that. Oh, man.
It is. It's just... So where do you see us? Where do you kind of see us heading in the future?
I don't know, man. Like, that's the thing. I think the reason that we're still going is because at no point have either of us ever looked at this and gone, well, I think we need to be here in a year. Like we never really had that thought process, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think the minute you start doing that is when things will start to go badly, because if you don't hit whatever, you know, made up milestone you set, people start to get demotivated. And I think honestly, and this is the advice I give to anybody who's looking to start streaming or anything like that as well, don't set milestones for yourself. And this is like counter to every like stream advice video that exists on the internet, right? Don't set milestones for yourself, because all that does is it demotivates you. Because the minute you start missing these big milestones that you set yourself that are completely arbitrary, have no bearing on anything whatsoever, you lose motivation because you think, oh, I'm not hitting these milestones. It must be something I'm doing wrong. And it takes away the desire to do it. And I think that's kind of why we're still here, is because we never did that.
No.
You know, our desire to still be here is because we're enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the show's evolved. Like, we started off just literally you and me chatting shit for an hour. And then it evolved into us going through the news in the hobby for a while. We did that. And then it kind of evolved beyond that. And we started doing, you know, like the questions from listeners and stuff like that. And then, you know, we evolved it from there, and we started taking in the stuff for the notice board, which I think has been really cool to be able to shine like a light on all of these other creations that other people in the space are doing, which is how we got to meet some of these amazing people that you know we have met, like you know, covering things like Covenant Crucible and all that sort of awesomeness has all come from us evolving the show to flow better. That's essentially why we've done it all, right?
I mean,
you know,
our sorry.
I was gonna say, like, even now, like, you know, we're finding that certain elements are not maybe going as well as they have been, and we're already discussing changes in the future that might take place. You know, so you know, keep tuned for that.
Yeah, and it's because we, you know, I think I remember saying this to you when we first started. I think it was Kevin Smith who kind of went, if you want to put something out into the world, do it. Don't
do it, yeah.
Think about the reception, think about the delivery, think about what you're doing, think about putting it. If you want to put something out into the world, put it out into the world. Doesn't matter if you got one listener, doesn't matter if you've got 1 million listeners. Just put it out and do what you do. And I think that's always been our philosophy. I mean, we never really do the milestone thing on threads or anything like that. No. You know, we don't. I mean, the milestone we're celebrating is the one that we've got control over.
Yep.
Our milestone
is doing this for a year.
Other than that, you know, the amount of listens we get, the amount of we don't have a control over that.
Nope.
You know, that is out of our control. So we're not going to worry about it. You know, we're going to carry on doing what we do. We're going to carry on doing what we do to the best of our ability. And, you know, any changes that we make will be changes that we feel improve what we do, as opposed to how they're going to be received.
Yeah.
You know, like like when we discussed the news segment, we were like, we're not happy with this. We don't enjoy doing it.
No, we hated it because it got to a point where we were basically just regurgitating what somebody else had written down, you know, and we both felt that there was no real, we weren't adding any value to it, right? We were just reading a news story that anybody else could read from major, like. In the space, it was major news sources, right? Because we were basically just reading Dicebreaker. What were the other ones that we're reading? N-World, yeah. Like, we were just going on there, picking a couple of news stories and reading those out. Like, it wasn't anything special. And I think we both felt that we weren't adding or contributing anything in doing that, and we didn't enjoy doing it. It became a chore to find these news stories.
And I think we have more fun when we bounce off each other. You know, when I've read it as well. I'm not going to repeat it because it's not. No, that's a bit too far. So I'm not repeating it.
It's fine. I'll get him.
You'll get him.
I'll get him.
But it's. You know, it's one of these things that you and we bounce off each other, and when we're reading a news article, it's
no bouncing.
There's no bouncing. There's no bouncing at all. Oh, do you remember bouncies though?
I do. I remember the bouncies back when we used to actually local record our audio to then upload. Yeah. I was using Audacity. You were using GarageBand.
Yeah.
Oh, good old days.
Yeah, because that was me being a stickler. I want it to be the best quality.
Yeah.
And you're there going, it's still going to upload at 128. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I was
Like,
it's going to be exactly the same.
they're like, nah, you make a very valid point. But yeah, so it's been great, and you know I'm looking forward to what the year has to hold. I mean, the first big thing that's happening is on Thursday. Mark it in your calendars. We have got the crit list, episode 1. Episode 1 of the crit list. It's been about 5 attempts at editing it,
something like that.
so. But yes, it is now edited. I'm fucking happy with it. It is now
was
uploaded.
Like 8 attempts at uploading it.
Yeah, we definitely need
so
to.
Many issues uploading.
We have to streamline that, but that's a conversation between you and I. I've got ideas. But yeah, so that's going to be the next major thing that's going to happen. We're going to start releasing the crit list soon. Yes. I'm going to be in talks with Eric over at Crossing for part 3 of Critting the Nerdverse. We were going to do one for Easter, but that time has passed, so I'm going to have to come up with something else. But yeah,
Summer
so we're going to do that.
holidays.
Maybe. So we've. What's that?
Spring break.
I'm making a mental note of that. So these are all things that are to come. But in the meantime, I do have more well wishes. All right, I do want to make a shout out before I read this comment. Constant Connell on Threads. All right. I've actually wanted to feature on our notice board for some time because, according to him, he's not a creator. I beg to differ because every day, without fail, he puts out a tabletop role-playing game question for GMs. Yes. And it is a great source of discourse, you know, because every day, without fail, he puts that out. And, you know, I mean, that has to be mentioned. So if you're listening to this and you're not following Constant Connell on Threads, what are you waiting for? Do so. Make your life that tiny bit better. But Constant Connell has put, man, I'll admit I don't get to watch as much as I'd like, but you're really the only podcast I regularly go back to. Even before I knew you guys did that, you were super cool and easy to talk to. The vibes are just really genuine, which is something lacking in that format. Keep going, guys. You're great. Aww. So lots of love to Connell.
Yeah.
You know, he's also taking part in the Fellowship of Fitness.
Still think you're dumb for doing that.
Of course I'm fucking dumb for doing that. I wanted to wind Stefan up and it bit me in the arse.
Let's be honest, we knew this day was going to come. You were going to say something slick to someone and it was going to get you into exercise. And here you are.
I mean, to be honest, the amount of shit I say. If exercise is
at some point.
Yeah, if exercise is kind of the worst side effect of that. You know. I did manage to piss some people off last week, but it's fine.
Yeah, we won't go into that one because you know that I have a different opinion.
But anyway, I stand by it. Fuck it.
You're entitled to your opinion.
But anyway, one last well wishing. This is from Tessalatrix. Tess. She's been with us since fucking the moment we set foot on Threads. You know, and she's been a massive supporter. She's fantastic. Again, this is someone you need to follow. If you're not doing it, why are you wasting time listening to me? Go follow.
And then come back. We'll still be here.
We'll still be here. We ain't going anywhere. But here's the thing about Too Legit. These are exactly the kind of guys you want to sit down with and have really frank discussions about tabletop role-playing games because they want to engage and listen and learn in a space that's so very welcoming and weird and utterly goofy. What's even more wonderful is that they use their platform to bring creators and their projects to light, showcasing them in a variety of ways that allow people to get excited for them. It's generous and passionate and utterly lovely, just like the two very legit guys who started it.
That was too good. That was too
That
good.
is, that is, I'm reading these and I'm quite stone faced as I'm reading them, but that's because I've read them. I've read them previously. I was ready for this.
I've teared up a few times already. Yeah. It's
And lastly, Couch in chat is I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be there too. Couch has been with us since day one. We cannot thank him enough we cannot thank him enough for everything.
Yeah,
and everybody.
He's been our support cast since day one of this hobby, even.
Yeah,
because he was our cleric.
He was, and it's just we probably don't tell him enough, but it means the world to us, and we can't thank him enough. But again, thank you to everyone that's been listening to us. Stay tuned. We've got lots more showing us. We've got lots more trouble to get into. Lots more waffling on to do.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. So I think with that, should we head over to the notice board?
I think we should. But before we do, there's some people you need to say thank you to first.
There is indeed. I need to say a quick thank you to our partners. So first of all, I want to mention Deals of Opportunity. So check out Deals of Opportunity. It's an automatic symbol and free way to save on the tabletop role-playing games that you want. Just add your Drive-Thru RPG and Dungeon Masters Guild wish list and get notified anytime a title on your list goes on sale. Just set it up and save. It's honestly, it has saved me money.
It's because you spend so much.
I've had to cut back. I've had to go cold turkey. I've got the shivers and shit.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's a great resource to have. All of a sudden you'll get an email through kind of going, hey, do you know this book that you were keeping an eye on? Now 20% off.
Sale. Yeah. And I mean, we've said it many times, but anytime you can save money in this hobby, all it's going to mean is that you get a free book at some point because you've saved enough money.
More games. We like games.
Yeah, it can be quite an expensive hobby. So saving money is always better than not saving money.
So our second partner, you know them, you love them. It's 13th Moon Games. It's a family-run indie tabletop role-playing game company out of Wyoming, USA. They created Covenant Crucible, which we've talked about ad nauseum.
So many times.
It's a game of modern-day witchcraft. Imagine if John Wick and The Last Witch Hunter got together, had a really pretty baby. It would be this game, and that is a perfect description of it.
It really is.
If you want to learn more and interested in joining the official Discord game, just get in touch with them. You can find them on threads at 13th Moon Games or at 13th Moon Games on Patreon. Do it. Love it. It's a great system.
It's so good. It is so good.
They were using 2D12s before it was cool.
You're going to get us both in trouble in a minute.
Well, I mean, am I lying?
No.
There we go, then.
You still going to get us in trouble. Right.
I'm used to getting in trouble. Don't worry about it. It's fun.
True. We need to roll for initiative, which means I need to run away quickly because all of my dice are over there.
Oh, well, I don't know what dice to use. I'm not using the orange fuck.
Why not? I love that dice.
No, I know you do. Because it's the dice you beat me on. So yeah, I'm actually going through dice. So this is just one of my dice collections. I mean, some people say you don't. Some people say you don't need more than one set of dice. Those people are wrong.
Those people are no longer your friends.
I can't say that because Connell's one of them, and I love him to pieces.
Nope.
So yeah, I do have my D20. This time I'm going for a nice little like a weird black and with like blue highlight number. You're going straight
Yeah, I'm
blue.
going with this one. It's it's lovely.
It's very lovely. All right,
Lovely.
okay. All right, so should we go ahead and roll for initiative?
Let's go for it.
Oh, I think I got you. I think I got you beat. What do you get? I'm gonna guess. That isn't a natural one face. That's a two face. Man, I was so close.
No one higher.
All right, higher 5.
Yes.
So I have now beaten you in initiative, which means the world is back how it should be.
Balance has been restored.
Balance has been restored.
The avatar has returned.
The avatar has returned. So yeah, thank you for my black and blue dice. I shall leave that there in case we need to roll anything else. Okay, so I got a couple of things to talk to you about this week. All right. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is murders at Lorelahc Manor. All right, it is. It's currently in Kickstarter, but it's a murder mystery campaign, and it's inspired by stuff like Clue and Knives Out.
Nice.
I like Knives Out. I enjoyed that quite a bit more than I thought I would. But there is basically two mysteries that can be run together or as their own sort of separate one shots, or they can be like run. They can be run together or as separate one shots. I think I've finally made that fucking clear.
English, do you speak it?
No, it's my second language.
I know.
But they're filled with beautiful illustrations of new monsters, items, maps, and more. And I've just gone onto the backer kit now, and like the immediate artwork that you get is really, really fucking pretty.
Oh yeah.
You know, that is very, very pretty, and it is by Andy Margolski. All right, and
I've popped it up on the screen for other folks.
Oh, fantastic! But yeah, just looking at the quality of the layout
It looks really good.
Really fucking pretty, man.
I like the maps. I see what they mean about like the Clue inspiration.
Yes, I can see that as well.
Like a Clue board.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, it looks really, really good though.
Oh, have you seen the mystery one, Unravel the Full Wizard's Past?
Yeah,
have you seen the artwork? That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to bother reading the blurb, but I will say that if you want to check it out, it is on BackerKit, and we will be posting the link in the description to the video.
Yeah.
So just feel free to follow it, because it does look absolutely fantastic. And the mystery 2 is called Unmask the Abyss Gala Killer. I don't want to click on the spoilers just in case somebody runs it for Tales of the Valiant. But yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it does. It looks really, really good. Really, really good.
So it's launching
situations of people with a lot of talent.
Oh yeah, I mean this space is full of them.
Oh yeah, it really is.
You know, so that backer kit is launching in 29 days, 21 hours, 36 minutes, and as of right now, 10 seconds.
The funny thing is, there's a delay even between the people watching us live, so even then, it was out by a couple of seconds.
But I made sure I did it a second and a half early.
It doesn't mean you got the delay right.
Someone will watch that and kind of go, "He fucking nailed it. How did he do that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like of all the people that watch it, there'll be one person that kind of go,
"Whoever's like, whoa,
fuck, that was amazing. What a pro." And the rest of the people won't give enough of a shit to mention it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's literally it.
Hey, I'm savvy like that. But yeah, so do check out Murder at Lorelahc Manor. And you can find them on Threads at Margot Mods Games. All right, so that is one of mine.
Well, I've got one that is pretty cool. So this is from somebody that is called Rollin' Dirty, which is an amazing name.
I like it.
And they make NPC packs for DMs to put into their games. So if the players on a whim take a left turn instead of a right turn and suddenly end up in a village that you haven't fleshed out yet, you could just pull an NPC pack out and have people, or maybe they take a hard left into a bandit camp that you haven't finished prepping. There's packs for that. So basically they're themed to a location. So, and there's a new pack every month. So, for example, 1 month might be a library. So, you know, you've got like your librarians and other NPCs that might be in the library, stuff like that. Could be a tavern, could be a bunch of bandits, stuff like that. So each character that they put into these packs will have a blurb, some traits, some motivations, some lootable items that'll be on them. So you don't have to go rolling through tables or trying to figure out, you know, loot and stuff like that after the fact. Some stat blocks, a quote, and related NPCs as well. So, for example, if it is the library, right, all of the librarians, there'll be like some interlinking things between those librarians or the regular or whatever, right? And it's really, really cool. So they have 2 packs on their Patreon that you can subscribe to. They've got either the commoner pack, which is you get access to the monthly packs, which is like 5 to 10 NPCs, their traits, motivations, loot, quick blurb, and then an optional image for them as well. So you'll get like a little image to put up on the screen or to show the players or whatever. And then they've also got the Adventurer pack, which gives you everything that the Commoner pack gives, but there's more character detail, some quest hooks and mini quest hooks that you can link these NPCs with, and a lot more location and business details, and like some more lore around the businesses surrounding these individuals and stuff like that. Now, a lot of it is obviously behind the subscription wall, but they have got some examples. Like they've got here the Friday freebie, which I'm just going to pop up on the screen for the viewers at home. But this is a bandit called Marin Steelfist, and it is like a full 1-page like sheet of how you can just very quickly add this character in. So some quick facts: female dwarf, their height, their weight, how old they are, languages they speak, what's carried on them. So it's got 12 silver pieces, 25 copper pieces, 2 scimitars, and a light crossbow. A decanter of endless water, green tunic, and half plate armor. Tells you what stat blocks to use, but add 2 con and 2 strength, 2 wisdom, dark vision, and like adds a few bits and pieces to their stat block. Then it's got like some traits, motivations, really cool artwork there. Goes through like their residence, some of the stuff that's in their residence. So there's a single large locked chest, DC 15, so it even gives you the lockpick check for breaking into that chest should the players choose to. What's contained in that chest. So there's literally, if they happen to stumble upon a bandit camp that you hadn't prepared, because let's be honest, we've all had that moment where, oh, you don't want to go that way, there's a bandit camp that way. And then, of course, the players go, let's go to the bandit camp.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I haven't prepped the bandit camp. You've got a bandit camp prepped.
No, I think it's fantastic, and I think anything that gives GMs that sort of resource to kind of go,
you can just be like, oh, fuck.
There you go, bang. And I think it's fantastic, and the quality of it. I mean, I'm just looking at
good. It's so
looking
good.
at Marin Steelfist, like the whole sort of backstory as well.
Yeah.
So you can flesh out that character as much as you want.
Yeah.
You know, they may meet her, and oh, this is Marin. End of. But they may start asking questions. Where are you from, Marin? Everything is in there. All the answers that you are going to need is in there. I think it's
like
fantastic.
a little mini side quest hook as well. So Marin needs parchment for her sketchbook, charcoal for drawing. So it's essentially turns into a fetch quest, right? So this NPC happens to have a fetch quest. So it could even be that they're going into this bandit camp not to kill all the bandits, But
Yeah.
just because it's somewhere that they can stop and resupply on the road, things are going to be more expensive. Things are going to be on edge because they are bandits or whatever. But while they're chatting around the campfire, they get talking to Marin, and suddenly, oh, yeah, Marin really needs these bits and pieces. Oh, cool. Well, we happen to be popping into the village. I know you guys can't really go in there because, the guards and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll grab that stuff for you. Now you've got a little side quest. It's just, it's great stuff. Great stuff.
No, that is fantastic. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So, another thing from me, I want to bring your attention to this was submitted by Inadequate Dungeon on Threads, and it is, let me find it. Okay, it is a podcast. So they've got an actual play series. It focuses on having a mix of funny hijinks and serious story beats. Right now, they've got 3 campaigns that they alternate between that follow the stories of 3 very different parties, all played by the same set of players. So they play in a custom setting of Crow Dew, and each campaign is concurrent and sometimes directly impact each other. There's a ton of maps and tokens for the games that they use to make, and some animated shorts to visualize some of their moments. It looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, actual plays, we can't dedicate too much time to actual plays because, of the
so much time
the
in
time
a day.
we've got, the time we've got to spend. But I'm just like looking, they sent us a short, and it's fucking phenomenal. It is really fucking funny. So let me go back to Inadequate Dungeon. So yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic, and the shorts, the animation is really cool. And just having a look at the videos, if you do check it out, I think they are on twitch.tv/Inadequate Dungeon. So if you want to kind of follow them and check them out, there's some more information about the adventure. They're all playing Pathfinder First Edition. The main campaign is following the family of Manticore Slayers, which is a group of chaotic heroes that help more by accident than on purpose. Kind of sounds like our jam.
Love it. Yeah.
The party is in the city of Taldor in the Gleaming Kingdom after an eventful sea journey. The party made to Taldor, where they quickly made a name for themselves after killing a manticore with amazing flair. It sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
dude,
that sounds like us.
Oh, mate, I've just seen something which is, there's a character called Hulk Otu, who is a half-orc cleric of Cthulhu.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bit of us.
Yeah, Lash Gutrot, a halfling bard druid from the Isles of Viking Halflings. Yeah, I mean, I might even, if I get a chance, I might give him a watch. But if you guys want to watch an actual play, go check out Inadequate Dungeon. It looks absolutely fantastic. They've got plenty of shorts on there to kind of to check out their wares before you invest. But it looks phenomenal.
No, that does sound awesome, to be honest, and definitely like our kind of chaos, which
100%.
It's a hard kind of chaos to capture. So the fact that they're doing it is awesome. But yeah, no, that is really cool. I also have another thing.
Ooh, was ist das?
So it's from Fiercest Pond. That was really hard for me to say for some reason over on Threads, and they have submitted something. Basically, they have created a 160-page source book.
Okay.
For use in the ampersand. Now, I can't access the book because it costs money and I don't have any. However, they have put out a preview of a bit of content from their next book that they're doing. So this is the first of 6 classes that they've got planned. And it's a class that is near and dear to both of our hearts for different reasons. It's a gambler class.
All
Now,
right.
it's near and dear to me because it relies heavily on a pack of playing cards and card manipulation and stuff like that, which is how this class does stuff.
Fair enough.
So they have a set of sharpened cards. They were never told exactly what they do, but they seem to grant you minor abilities over luck itself, as well as a quick weapon to use in a pinch. As an attack, you may instead throw one of your playing cards. A card throw counts as a martial weapon you're proficient with that uses your dexterity modifier and has a range of 10/20, so 10 short, 20 long. Because obviously you can't throw a card very far accurately. So on a successful hit, roll a d4. On a 1 to 2, the card is a red suit and deals 2d6 slashing damage.
Okay.
On a 3 to 4, the card is a black suit and deals 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Interesting.
Which is kind of cool. So each deck has 52 cards, and then card costs like 5 gold at most shops. So there's like ways to replace your deck, right? So
yeah.
it's got ammunition of 52.
Mm.
And then there's like loads of other skills and stuff to do with like gambling and luck and things like that. So you get things like bend luck. You get lucky strike. So that gives you like crits on a 19 or a 20, not just a 20,
right.
stuff like that. You get at 5th level, you get an ability called Cut the Deck. So you have learned to cut your deck of cards however you like. Whenever you use your bend luck ability on yourself, you may pick which color suit your next gambler card's attack does. So it removes that D4. So you're essentially cutting to a black card because you want to deal bludgeoning damage, right? Things like that. So as you get more and more comfortable with your deck, you're able to do more and more stuff with it. And like all of the skills are named after like card-based things. So like at 10th level, you get Risky Bet. At 14th level, you get Royal Flush. Things like that. And then like the subclasses as well, you got things like Card Shark. And they get like Loaded Deck. You get things like a Dealer who gets like Dealer's Hand and stuff like that. Like so there's or like at 13th level, they get Dealer's Choice. And this is one of my favorite ones. So if you go down the dealer subclass route at 18th level, so like your capstone ability for this class is the house always wins. That's the name of the ability.
Nice.
I love it. But basically, whenever you grant a creature advantage or disadvantage with your bend luck ability, you gain advantage on your next ability check or attack roll. So you are so good at controlling the outcome of things that you can make the bad guy have disadvantage, and in making them have disadvantage, you give yourself advantage.
No, I like it. I think it's quite an interesting class. And
yeah, I must admit, when I first read it, I was skeptical because I was like, I don't see how the playing cards damage is going to like work towards late game. But having read the rest of the skills and abilities, I'm like, you know what? I would play this. I think it'd be a really cool way to like bring like a Gambit style character into a campaign as well, which is really cool.
I mean, I like classes that have versatility. This seems to have it in spades.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, that's kind of, I do like a versatile class, and this is I like versatile classes, and I do like buff classes as well. So I think this does kind of cover both of those. Yeah, I'd be interested in playing a version of that if it wasn't for the ampersand.
It feels almost a bit like a bard, but without like the musical or the storytelling elements, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it does feel very bard-like.
That party buffing, you know, making things slightly more advantageous for the group and yeah, that kind of stuff, which is really kind of cool. And I genuinely think that if you've ever played a rogue that like does lots of, you know, sleight of hand games or something like that, this class for some of these subclasses would be the perfect like slot in for that, because it literally leans into it. Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I mean, to be honest, I'd probably do it the other way around. I'd probably have this with a rogue subclass with a roll, with like a dip in rogue, just to get the sneak attack damage.
Yeah. Oh god, sneak attack damage on those cards would be so fun.
Yeah. And then you've got more ways that you don't necessarily have to do bend luck. you can get advantage, but also bend luck and give someone else advantage as well. It'd be a pretty brutal combination.
I think it could be. I think it has potential to be really, really strong. But it also has potential to add so much flavor and, as you say, so much versatility to a group as well. Because you can never write off a group that has somebody that can literally bend luck.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and the ability to kind of grant advantage.
Yeah,
that is perfect. I mean,
that's like so good.
I mean, does it work for rogues? Is it anytime they have advantage, they do sneak attack?
Yes.
So yeah, you can save the rogue some actions.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get into flanking position. You get there, I'll give you your advantage.
Flanking doesn't give advantage.
Does it not?
Nope, not in 5e.
What does flanking do for you then?
It's nothing.
Nothing?
No, it's there is like it's a variant rule that can be applied, but nobody ever does because most people don't bother with it because the way like reaction attacks work in 5e, it's not difficult to get into a flanking position. So that's why most people don't play the flanking rule, because once you're in the 5 foot, you can move around freely around them and you're not going to trigger, because you only trigger a reaction if you leave their range.
Yeah.
So moving through it doesn't do anything. So you could literally walk into their 5 foot range and walk around them in circles and nothing happens. So that's it's one of those things where, because it's not difficult to get into a flanking position, people kind of said it doesn't warrant getting advantage. And I see it, because like the reason it's so good in Pathfinder is because it's difficult to get into that position, right?
But I mean, to be honest, the flanking rules for Pathfinder, I've never been a major fan of.
No.
For one reason, because I mean, because now let's use 2e for an example.
Yeah.
If you are flanked, you are caught off guard, right? Yeah. So that means you've got one person in front of you, one person behind you. They have to be on opposite squares, right?
Yes.
Why? Surely the narrative of it is you're fighting with one person, you're fighting behind you, it's hard to keep a track of, so you are off guard. Why does it have to be opposite squares?
Opposite. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're dealing with one person that's in front of you to the left and one person that's in front of you to the right, surely that should give you the off guard. If you're fighting with one person in melee and have someone shooting at you.
So that's how the rogue sneak attack does work. If they're in combat with somebody else within 5 feet of them, so basically as long as 2 of you are in melee combat, you get sneak attack. So they did kind of fix that in 5e. So that's not a problem in 5e.
Right, I'm going to say this once. Remember this moment. Remember this moment. I like that interpretation of the rule in the ampersand game.
Yeah. No,
the rest of it is one thing I really like. No, but I mean, I think that is the right way of doing it. It is, because like
you are distracted essentially, right? Because you can't be fighting this guy and fighting this guy at your full strength. You just can't. Nobody can.
In Pathfinder, if you and I are fighting and someone else is shooting at me, surely that person is catching me off guard.
Yeah.
But so I've never really. I think they haven't quite got that right. But anywho, but the Gambler definitely looks interesting.
Just Fred Couch's thing. Can we get through a week on the podcast without Justin mentioning cards? Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z.
We shall find out.
I'm going to answer that for you. No.
No, we won't.
No. I love cards.
All right, but I think we should take a trip to where?
To the lounge. I can't do it this week.
That wasn't bad, but you'll be able to do it next week.
Possibly. We'll see. I don't know how my voice is going to be because I've got a week ahead of me at work of lots of shouting at people.
All right, so we've got 2 topics to choose from, both submitted by Couch. So I'm going to bring up my dice again, and we're going to do odds and evens.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, odds the first one, evens the second.
Okay.
All right. I have moved my dice tray and I don't like it. It has to be straight. Thank you.
You don't have OCD.
I don't. It was just fucking bugging me. I like things to be proper. Anyway. Oh, that is a 3 on the dice. So
that's the first one, right?
Yeah. If you could make a tabletop role-playing game based on a 90s famous property, what would you do and how would the setting expand from the source material? For me, Jurassic Park would be a go-to. That is Couch's words, obviously.
Yeah.
90s properties.
I'm trying to think of 90s properties now.
I
have some form of, because my go-to answer would have been Power Rangers, but there's already a game for that.
There is quite a good one, I've heard.
Exactly, yeah. So that would be my go-to. I think Power Rangers would be a lot of fun, but that already exists. So
it does.
I think of another one.
It does. The thing is, 90s. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in the 90s.
There was a lot of good stuff in the 90s.
I mean, again, this kind of already exists, but Blade would be good.
Yeah, they do have Marvel superheroes now, so
yeah.
But a dedicated, but actually, no, actually,
like a dedicated Blade game.
I'm gonna retract that. Yeah, a dedicated Blade game where you kind of mix elements of Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
With elements of, and I think you need a solid combat mechanic.
The players would essentially be like the group in Blade 3, right, where they're normal humans hunting vampires. And Blade is just like a fictional NPC that everyone's convinced isn't real, but obviously is.
See, right? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there is a lot of lore to explore. But just taking the films aside, because they started really delving into it. Yes, admittedly, going a bit weird, but I think
so good though.
No,
I always got it.
The TV show, the Blade TV show. Did you ever watch it?
I didn't, but yes.
Very fucking underrated. And it's a shame it didn't last more than a season, but they did start to set up this really intricate Vampire the Masquerade-esque world where you've got vampire families.
And it'd be like the second Blade film. They explored the vampire families in the second Blade film with there was that one guy that was like the head of the family and they had that big fight at the end. And so that could work really well though, because that would give you loads of because there's like the hierarchy of the vampire society and all of that as well to really dive into. So I think that one could be really good. But you said TV shows, and it made me think of one in particular.
All right, I'm listening.
Because I've recently started watching it with my daughter. It's on Disney Plus at the minute, and it's the TV show Dinosaurs.
Yeah, of course.
Now, obviously, it's kind of similar to the Jurassic Park angle, but different in that it's far more comical and not as serious as a Jurassic Park game would be. So it'd be like the party version of the Jurassic Park game, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I think something like that would be quite fun.
No, that'd be pretty. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
I'm just trying to think of other 90s stuff.
I mean, you could always I mean, the easy answer for me would be Delta Green, but with an X-Files setting.
Yeah. I mean, essentially Delta Green is X-Files if you think about it, just under a different name, right? But yeah, that could be quite good.
Another one I was thinking. Another one I was thinking of, and it's not necessarily tied to the 90s, but it was around in the 90s, so I'm gonna fucking count it. And I don't believe there is a TTRPG of this, or even remotely close to it. A WWE tabletop role-playing game.
Oh, well, no, because if we're doing 90s, let's use this 90s name.
WWF.
Thank
Attitude
you.
Era.
Yeah.
I mean, the only era that counts. Rest of them are shit. But yeah, just do that. But
that would be the thing that gets us cancelled somehow.
But have it like the video games where you actually build a career.
You build your own wrestler and
build your wrestler. And you can always in like a popularity mechanic.
Ooh, do
Things
you know
you
what else would be
do.
good?
What's
Oh,
that?
in a similar vein, gladiators.
Gladiators.
So the players are all contenders, right? And they're playing an episode. Every game is essentially a one shot, where they go up against the gladiators and they've got to try and defeat them in the different challenges and stuff. I think that could be quite good.
You could always do that. And I think there was a game that kind of explored this slightly, and I can't remember the name of it, but you could always kind of do that, but amped up a tiny bit and do Running Man.
Mm.
The old not slides, Arnie flick.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, you're basically on a TV show, but they've done that with Deathmatch Island, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Yeah, yeah.
So scratch that idea.
Trying to think what else that was really really popular when I was a kid.
Buffy and Angel.
Yeah, but I think that again that kind of leans into our whole vampire thing from earlier.
But I
Because
mean,
Buffy would essentially be a different take on a hunting group in that scenario, right?
and to be fair, I think in the show the show and the comics, they kind of explored most of that world.
Most of it, yeah.
So I don't think there was.
What else did I used to watch in the 90s?
Yeah, that's it. I'm my 90s and my 90s and 80s are blending together like a motherfucker right now.
Well, I mean, my 90s, I was like, well, at the end of the 90s, I was 13, so I was very young for most of the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really say anything like
most of my answers are like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or.
But the problem with that, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is that the main characters are the central point.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Yes, you're going to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you're playing
as the Foot. You play as the Foot Clan. You play as members of the Foot. The Turtles are the bad guys.
I think you're onto something there.
Spin it.
I definitely think you're onto something.
That would be good. That would be good. So that could be quite fun. Or Biker Mice from Mars.
Anything like that, yeah. Just because obviously they're all kind of clones.
Play as the bad guys henchman type thing for all of these. Would be quite interesting.
I'm gonna go a different way. I'm gonna go if like something along the lines of like Law and Order or JAG.
Yeah.
Or NCIS, where there is an investigation thing, and you're not necessarily focusing on like a combat, but you are like a detective and you are kind of working through that. So maybe like an NCIS Stoke-on-Trent. Something along.
That could be good. The other one I just thought of was gargoyles.
That's lore that needed exploring.
Exactly. And not only that, right? There's an infinite number of gargoyles because it's every gargoyle that's existed on a building ever is the lore of that world, right? They are all real gargoyles.
Yeah.
So there's an infinite number of them. So you don't have to play as the main ones in the TV show. Doesn't even have to be in the same city as the ones on the TV show. And there's a whole world there to be delved into. So that could be quite a good one.
I mean, there is one I was going to mention, but there is a game already for it. The only thing is that the game is put out by a company that's kind of fallen into a bit of disrepute, and that's the Highlander game. So it's based on Everyday Heroes, but it is the Highlander setting. I thought that could be quite interesting, but I think Everyday Heroes is 5e based or along those lines, and that I don't think that'd work.
I think we've had some good ones there.
We have had some really good ones, but like Indiana Jones.
Yes, yeah. I mean, isn't that just every D&D campaign though? You go into a tomb to find a trinket. To
a certain degree, but it'd be less focused on combat.
Yeah,
there would be combat involved, but it'd be more. I think probably having a forged in the dark version of it.
Yeah.
You know, where
that
it's like,
could
what
be
do you
good,
want to, you know, you need to run away sort of thing, or you
yeah.
need to
Yeah,
evade the
yeah,
combat.
yeah.
And I think that would probably be better.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, that could be good.
No, I think we've come up with quite a few good answers there.
Yeah.
Oh, Couch has just put Jerry Springer tabletop role playing game.
I love it. When did Independence Day come out?
That was 90s.
Independence
Definitely
Day.
90s. Independence Day. Yeah, I mean, Independence Day, you play the aliens. You want to invade this piece of shit planet, and
Yes.
somehow they managed to hack your system.
Yeah. What
So
are
it's
you
like,
gonna do?
what happens after that?
That would be so good.
You play as the person who installed the firewall,
About this
who
shit.
who has to go back and just face the music like, fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that
we
was
got
so
some.
good.
I think we came up with some pretty solid
I
answers
think we
there.
hit some good ones. Yeah, I think we hit some good ones.
So I think that is about all we've got time for today. So
Yes.
you know, but you know, thank you, Couch, for sending in that. It's given us a lot to talk about.
Lot to think about.
Yeah. Also, thank you to everyone who sent submitting things for our notice board. We love hearing about your projects. We love highlighting them, and we hope to do more going forward. Justin, thank you for spending time with me this evening, but also thank you for spending time with me for the entirety of this year.
Yeah, whole year.
The whole year. Do you want to tell people whereabouts on the interwebs they can find you?
Yes. So I stream on Twitch, and I am on most of the social medias at Just an Accurate TV. And yeah, most of that, and then on the Discord and Facebook.
Okay, as for me, you can find me at naturaljuan@dice.camp on Mastodon. You can also find me behind all of our social media, whether that's Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, and I'm normally pissing somebody off. So
Mostly me.
yeah, mostly you, or you know, fans of another podcast. Yeah, but you know, it's all done in, you know, enjoy, as it were. But yeah, don't hesitate to interact with us. Come tell us what you like, tell us what you didn't like. If you like what we do and want to see more, give us a like, give us a rating, subscribe, tell your friends about us. You know, because we love this community that we're a part of. We want to grow with it, and you know, with your help, we are able to do that. But most importantly of all, thank you to everyone who's taken time out of their busy day to listen to two idiots waffle on about tabletop role-playing games. Thank you very much. Good night.
See you later, guys.